What's good, YouTube? I'm Louis Gusto. Today we're taking you around the Windy City to eat 3 sandwiches that Chicago is obsessed with. Make sure you finesse that like button. The Italian beef is a very special sandwich for Chicagoans. It's the first food that babies are given when they're born at Cook County Hospital. Now y'all know that in a million years, no one could ever make a film about Chicago's most beloved sandwiches and not include the Italian beef. We are here in Little Italy on Taylor Street at Al's Beef, the originator. Now what you got here is thinly sliced Italian beef, seasoned and spiced and marinated and sliced. You can't forget those spicy giardiniera peppers. This is my favorite sandwich in the world, and we're here where it all began. So cheers. Chicago #1. I've had a lot of beefs in my day, but the Al's Beef has some warm seasoning spices. You could taste almost like cinnamon, nutmeg, clove type flavors in this one. Peppers actually aren't too spicy, so you could definitely go wild and get extra hot peppers on yours. And I always get my beef extra dip. I want that bread nice and soggy, or my hands like a complete mess, like I could skate on my hands. That's how greasy they are right now. And it's oh so delicious. Now, I'm not advocating that you eat these sandwiches on a daily basis. By no means should anybody do that. But as a weekly treat, a monthly surprise, a yearly tradition, I say go for it. Gotta remember to do your proper stance, feet away from the counter, so that none of the beefy goodness is dripping on your gym shoes or your fresh outfit. You may be wearing a Walter Payton throwback Mitchell & Ness jersey, like cool people do. You don't want beef juice on that. Now, some people throw cheese, some people throw sweet peppers. It's all up to your own personal preference. Just like Burger King, have it your way. Thanks to the popularity of the Italian beef sandwich, you can get these all over the country now, even in New York City. We did have one at Dog Day Afternoon in Brooklyn, and it was definitely delicious. The great thing about this sandwich is that it can be made personally, different spices, different marinating times. But it's important that that bread is just falling apart because of all the juice. If it's not, then I'm sorry, you better send it back and get extra dip. You can get it regular, you can get king size. If you're really hungry, get fries and pop on the side. Good to go for another couple hours. Dripping all over the paper. Beautiful day here in Little Italy, enjoying a centuries-long tradition in the Windy City. Chicago is obsessed with the Italian beef sandwich, and you should be too. My friends, we're now at Manny's Cafeteria and Delicatessen, an institution here in the Windy City, right on Jefferson. Been open since the 1940s. We're here to try their iconic, famous, and all-around best sandwich, pastrami and corned beef on rye bread. You may have had pastrami at Katz, 2nd Avenue Deli, or even Sarge's, but until you've been to Manny's, you cannot say with definitive proof that you know what the best pastrami and corned beef sandwich in the world is. Expertly sliced, paper-thin corned beef and pastrami on this rye bread, sitting so lovely, plenty of meat to go around. You're definitely not gonna leave hungry after you leave Manny's. Trust me, I know, I'm an expert. Some sandwiches are better with toppings and condiments. You could argue that the pastrami and corned beef sandwich is great on its own. There's mustard here if you want to put it on, but I kind of am partial to plain. Just let that meat really shine. It's been a couple of months since I came out here to try this sandwich, and it is just as good, if not better, than the first time I tried it. Nice big open space in the cafeteria, all kinds of things to choose from potato pancakes to gefilte fish to matzo ball soup. There's also a little mini bodega within this establishment, so you can grab candy, coffee, even merch. Rock your Manny's Deli t-shirt all around Chicago and worldwide. Remember that one sitcom with the character that was always like, "Oh my God, that's a good pastrami"? I remember that show and always think about that character when I come to Manny's Deli. You know you gotta have that pickle on the side. Manny's Deli is expertly branded, loving their logo, just west of the South Loop. So it's a little bit out of the way, but definitely worth the extra travel time. This is the type of sandwich that you could have on the side while you're playing gin rummy, maybe playing a couple of chips, gambling. Got your pastrami and corned beef sandwich on the side, little sparkling beverage of your choice. This is one of the only sandwiches where I pick up the meat after it's fallen on the plate to put it back, because that rye bread, those flavors go so well with it. And you could take your time at a place like Manny's. This is a place where you can kick back with your food, just enjoy the ambiance. They're not blasting music like rock and roll or house music. It's just like a nice chill atmosphere. It looks like a formidable sandwich, but if you come with a hearty appetite, maybe you worked out or did some cardio earlier in the day, you'd definitely be able to tackle this. Really the hardest part is stopping that really delicious meat from falling out the bread. I gotta constantly put it back in there. Gonna polish off this other half of the pastrami and corned beef sandwich from Manny's Deli. This is important. You can't be going to these chain sandwich restaurants all around the city. You gotta support the local places where the community actually comes, where they actually make good food that's good for the soul, that's gonna leave you in a good mood and inspire your whole week. Now, I'm not saying to eat a pastrami and corned beef sandwich every single day. If you're Derrick Rose, then yeah, maybe you could eat a pastrami and corned beef sandwich every single day, because that workout regimen is intense. If you're coming to Manny's every day, make sure you get some matzo ball soup, some potato pancakes, some lox, they got bagels, coffee. Everything is good here, and it's full of great people, and like I said, just a cornerstone of the Chicago community. I've been to 2nd Avenue Deli, I've been to Sarge's Deli in New York, and those places are great. But I'm telling you, this one is right up there with those sandwiches, so make sure you don't sleep. Chicago is obsessed with this corned beef and pastrami sandwich, and you should be too. If you're enjoying this sandwich tour of Chicago and want to see more just like it, make sure you finesse that like button. RICOBENES. We are here to devour their world famous breaded steak sandwich. Well, Louis, I've never heard of a breaded steak sandwich. What's that? Well, it's a thinly sliced, tenderized cut of beef, breaded and fried up to perfection, topped with melty mozzarella cheese, dashed with hot, sweet, or both peppers, all inside a beautiful piece of bread. It was written about in the Old Testament and talked about on TikTok. Welcome to Rico Benny's on the south side of Chicago, Bridgeport to be specific. Unlike the other spots on our itinerary, this is the only place where you can get this type of sandwich. It's their famous breaded steak sandwich with hot and sweet peppers, mozzarella cheese, certainly that breaded steak on a nice Italian roll. You gotta order it dry with the sauce on the side so you could dip it like a little submarine coming into port. Now that's Italian. 11 and a half months out of the year, the weather in Chicago sucks. And that's why we love sandwiches so much, and you can find such a wide variety. That breaded steak was nice and crispy, and because I ordered it dry, it stayed that way. Now, normally, with an Italian sandwich, I like it pre-dipped, but in this case, I wanted to see what it would be like. You know, this is the locals' favorite. Maybe we could pour a little bit of it, too. Rico Benny's is a Bridgeport institution. You got all your basic food groups with this sandwich. You got your dairy with the cheese. You got your fruit with the tomato sauce, vegetables with your hot and sweet peppers. You got your protein with that beautiful steak. And you got your wheat with not only the Italian bread, but the breading on the steak. So it's a very well-balanced meal. I did lift weights for the last 2 days, so I'm in need of my protein. But I like to keep it balanced. This is my impression of Ricky Ricardo eating a breaded steak sandwich from Rico Benny's.
Lucy, you got some cooking to do, because this is very good.
Let me tell you, for those of you that don't know, how good giardiniera is. It is the perfect topping to almost any food that you can think of that's savory. Of course, you're not gonna put it on cookies or a freshly baked German chocolate cake, but you wanna put it on pizza, in your scrambled eggs, on a taco. Giardiniera is the world's best topping. Normally, I don't combine the two types of peppers, but I think I just had a breakthrough today. We all had it together. It's like this is a therapy session. We're like, why are you avoiding the sweet peppers? They're just as good as the hot peppers. And just like the Chicago White Sox in 2005, all those peppers come together to win the World Series of sandwiches. Coming in for a landing. You might want to have a couple of wet naps on hand for your mouth and your hands. I'm not a stickler for bread names, but I am a sandwich enthusiast. And I could even imagine Paul Hollywood loving the bake on this bread, holding all the ingredients together, making sure that only a few fall out here and there. It's all part of the process. You can't expect to eat a sandwich and have clean hands and a clean mouth after. It's just not how we do it in Chicago. It's all about how messy can this sandwich get. Just make sure you got a stack of napkins, a couple of handy wipes, maybe a dog by your side in case there's a couple of scraps here and there. Now, Rowdy's at home, but he would definitely enjoy without the peppers. But he would love a breaded steak sandwich like this. Chicago is obsessed with the Rico Benny's breaded steak sandwich, and you should be too. If you want to help support more food and travel videos on this channel, check out our Patreon, is linked below. Yo, I gotta say that Rico Benny's breaded steak sandwich was like coming home after a long day's work, sitting in front of the fireplace and smoking my pipe and tobacco. Yo, Gusto Nation, let us know what sandwich today was your favorite. Hit that subscribe button and we will see you next time. Ricky, peace.